Welcome, Hudson Valley. This is Conor Walsh, host of In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program. This week on In Touch, we speak with Nolly, Marsi Clark, Tara Bliss, and Barry Lewis from the People for People Fund. People for People helps local, self-reliant people who unexpectedly face an emergency through financial assistance. These one-time grants assist qualified applicants with things like housing, utilities, auto repair, and media bills. The organization has awarded $5.2 million since its launch, donating $90,000 in 2023 alone. We invite you to join us and listen to a previously recorded conversation between Nolly, Marsi, Tara, Barry, and myself here on In Touch. Because of the awesome success of In Touch over the last year, we're expanding. We're launching a new spin-off series under the In Touch umbrella called Townsquare Spotlights. These spotlights focus on amazing celebrities and leaders passing through the Hudson Valley who are making an impact in pop culture. You can check out our latest spotlights with Hudson Valley author Bree L Taylor and Long Island medium Theresa Caputo wherever you listen to In Touch. Hello, Hudson Valley. You're listening to another episode of In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program, and we have a great episode for you guys today, a very altruistic episode, and it's something that I was just kind of floored about when I heard the concept of this organization because of how amazing it is, how many people it's been able to assist, how much money they've been able to give people in a time of need and crisis. This is a really important organization, and I'm so happy to highlight them today. With us, I have members of People for People Fund. Essentially, it's just people helping people, and it's so much more than that, and it's so beautiful, and I can't wait to get into it. So with us today, I have Nolly, Marsi Clark, Tara Bliss, and Barry Lewis. How are you guys? We got a full house today.
We're doing well. Thank you for this opportunity.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm really happy to have you guys in here today. And it's really exciting because you guys are coming up on 40 years as an organization. I see here that you guys were founded in 1985. Next year is going to be 40 years. What an accomplishment. I also see here that y'all have awarded like over $5 million to people in need since the launch. And last year, you were able to help people out with $90,000 alone. That is insane, and I think that is incredible. But for those who are unfamiliar with the People for People Fund, would any of you guys, or multiple of you, we have so many of you, but could you give us like an overview of essentially what People for People is?
Yes, my name is Nolly. I am the president of the board. We basically help individuals who are steadily employed but are facing a temporary financial emergency or something that happened to them that cannot be met by other support that they have or public or private sources. So we are there as a vehicle to support people in the community, contribute for us to continue to do that work.
That's incredible. And now you guys are here in the Hudson Valley. What specific regions and areas do you guys cover?
Orange, Sullivan, and Ulster counties in New York.
Fantastic. Now, Nolly, you were mentioning how people who are in need, people who are met with an emergency that they can't avoid. I'm just curious, what are some of these emergencies that you guys would be able to cover? Obviously, when it comes to my mind, when I hear emergency, I think of like some kind of sudden health crisis or an accident or injury or a sudden death. What does that look like from People for People's end? What qualifies as the emergency in this case?
You know, sometimes people who are working, they have a problem with their vehicle, where they cannot afford for a repair, or it could be to pay the heat or the rent.
Oh, wow.
So we look at those needs as they occur, and we, through a process in the volunteer, as well as our executive director and the board, we process those applications and evaluate and assist people.
Wow. Okay. So you guys are really targeting like the day-to-day essentials, as you said, like car repair, rent, heat.
Right.
That really is getting to the nitty-gritty of things. Something that I've always heard about, like especially around like the holidays, how you get older, do you really need something in a box wrapped with a bow? People say is like, if you're really looking to give a good present, help with groceries, help with rent, help with something along those lines, a car bill or something. And here you guys are offering something along those lines, and I think that is terrific. Now, as you said, there is a review process of how people can be awarded this, but how do people submit to receive an award, receive the grant, receive the help, if anybody wants to take this question?
Applications are available online, and we also have an online portal, which is through our website at peopleforpeoplefund.org. That's people, the word for FOR, so not the number, peopleforpeoplefund.org. There's also additional information on the website and the process.
Oh, that's very good. And I'm glad to, I'm looking at the website right now, and it's really laid out very well, very comprehensive. It has everything here. And honestly, I think it's great and such a great way to be able to help out the community. Now, one of the biggest things about this is that it's staffed by volunteers. This is a very volunteer-centric organization. And as we said before we got on the mic, it's people helping people. It's your neighbor helping your neighbor. And that's something I really want to hear from each and every one of you about. I would love to get your perspective on that neighborly mindset of this community and how the volunteer system works.
Well, Conor, it really is, it's about understanding that it doesn't take much in somebody's life for them to find themselves in a difficult spot. You suddenly you have a car issue, and so now you can't get to work, and so you may be docked a week's pay, or you're trying to come up with the repairs, and you have to make a decision. Are you going to be paying for medicine or cutting back on groceries because you have to work on your car? And you just need a hand up. You're no one's looking, no one wants to be in this situation, but through the there before the grace of God, it's very easy to find yourself in this spot. And what People for People has done is we realize through no fault of folks, they get into this situation. And what we look to do is simply, give them a hand up. They contact us, we verify the information, and as best as we can help them, we do it. There's no strings attached. Nobody has to pay back anything. There's no interest. It's us providing folks with the financial support in a specific time that they need it, and and it's our neighbors. That's the other thing, as you said. We're helping people in an area in Sullivan, Orange, and Ulster counties, where that's where we all live, the volunteers, and so we know folks in our communities that need our help, and that's what we're looking to do.
That's amazing. I really appreciate your perspective on that, Barry. Does anybody have anything else that they want to chime in with?
Yeah, that was great, Barry. I just want to add to that there's a saying that says it takes a village, right?
Amen.
And I feel like People for People Fund is that village when you really need a hand in a situation that I think there isn't a person in the Hudson Valley who can't empathize or hasn't been in that similar type of a situation. Or like Barry said, you're trying to figure out what am I going to have to sacrifice this month just so that I can get my car fixed. But if we could get that car fixed for you and we could get you back to work and back in a position, it all happens to each one of us, a one-time situation where we can use a neighbor or that village to help us get where we need to be. So it's really great to be part of that.
Truly. And the example about the car, I just had a car issue like a few weeks ago. It's like, if I knew about you guys, that could have really helped. I got through it. I made it through, but I'm so glad to be able to hear about this and for people to know and understand this. Anybody else want to chime in on the volunteer aspect and what it's meant to y'all? Nolly, Marsi, any extra things that you want to weigh in on that?
Certainly. As the volunteers and here in the office, we have a dedicated group of volunteers. Once we get our hooks into them, they stay long term. We have volunteers here 10, 15, 20 years because of our mission and goal of really one neighbor helping another. And there are many times that we're not able to help somebody because their arrears are so great or it's ongoing. Ours is a one-time assistance, and it's expected to resolve the problem, and they can continue meeting their monthly obligations. But as the volunteers here, we are also a resource for other programs that may be available. There are many times that people have not been in this situation before, so they're unaware of the heating assistance program, and we look to see if they're within the income guidelines and suggest, this is a government-funded program. That is where you should be applying first for your heating assistance. Or if they look like they qualify for possible child care assistance or food stamps assistance, they're seeking avenues because they hadn't been in this predicament before.
Yeah.
And going back to the car repairs, we recently had one. The gentleman had some repairs, he fixed them, and then the following month some more repairs. So then he came to us, he made the repairs because he couldn't miss time from work, and now he's short on making his car insurance payment. And you only have a 10-day grace period. You can't fool around with that. You don't want to have your license suspended. So that's just one example. There are people that are normally paying their bills on a regular basis, and something recently happened to give them that momentary distress. They just need a little helping hand. It's not thousands of dollars. It's just to get them over the hump and back on track.
But that's so big, though, just to be able to get over the hump, because so many people stress out about that on a daily basis. And I think that's so important. And what you're saying about getting the resources out to people who have never been in this position before, people don't know what they don't know. So when you're able to help and assist on that, it really helps open doors, and I'm really happy to hear about all that. Again, you're listening to In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program. We're speaking with members of the People for People Fund, talking about the incredible ways that they are helping people get over that hump of when they find themselves in a sudden one-time emergency where you need to be able to pay off the insurance or pay off the heat or pay off the car bill, whatever that might be. It's neighbors helping neighbors. And we've been talking about how it's very volunteer focused and talking about what it means to be a volunteer. But for those who are listening right now and they're thinking, oh, I would love to be a volunteer, but what does that mean? What's that time commitment? What do I have to actually do? Could you guys go into that, what it looks like to physically be a volunteer? What are some of those duties one would have to take on?
Sure. So our volunteers make a regular commitment. We ask for 4 hours, 1 day per week. Our office is open 3 days per week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, from 10 till 2. So they make a regular commitment to come in weekly with the application process. They do go through a training period to learn about the process, but also learn of other agencies and resources. They review the application, they speak with the applicant, clarify any details and specifics. If they're looking for help with rent, we're speaking with the landlord. If they're looking for help with utilities, we're speaking with the utility company. We try to negotiate to get them onto some type of payment agreement. What can we do with regards to their situation? If it's with regards to car repairs, we're speaking with the garage to see what we can arrange or do on their behalf. So it's interviewing the applicant, reviewing the process, gathering the details, and then making verbal contact with the vendors. If we assist, we don't give the people the money themselves. We pay a vendor directly. No cash
Gotcha.
is given to the applicant.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And to be honest, that's a lot more than just simply helping out with payments. You guys are really going in there, researching, learning, and also, as we talked about before, just being the resource. And sounds like you guys are versed in many resources in the area, and I think that's a big help for a lot of people. And I think that's great for those who do want to volunteer to be a part of, so that they can be these resources for their neighbors. So when it comes to volunteering, how can one sign up to get involved? Should they apply online? You said there's a training. How does one become a volunteer?
Well, they would contact our office. We're here limited hours, so leave a message if we're not here. We'll be back in touch with you. Discuss when we may have a training period upcoming, and we have a few volunteers, then we'll bring them in for training. Our office is located in Middletown, so you have to be, within our area, even though we do service Orange, Sullivan, and Ulster. So it has to be convenient for you to come in on a regular basis.
Understandable.
But contact us or send an email through the portal, or call our number directly.
Amazing. No, that sounds great. And I think this is a really awesome volunteer opportunities for those who are looking to, help out their neighbor, help the people right beside them. And when it comes to the money that you guys end up awarding, is this all simply from the people as well? Is this simply from people donating from the goodness of their hearts through charity fundraisers, or is there other grants that are involved with this as well? Where do you guys get the money to award?
We have no government funding. We're all the community, whether it's local businesses, individuals, contributing to us on
Wow.
Many are longtime contributors on an annual basis.
That's incredible.
And I think that is so important to emphasize, because while we sustain those people who are in need, the community sustain us.
Yeah.
Every single penny that we distribute had come to us via donation of people from the community. And it just kind of highlights how this community works and how people understand and that we help each other. And we are so grateful for those that every year send a small donation, for those that can send more than a small donation, and for the businesses that support us as well. So we're very grateful.
Oh, that's fantastic. Barry, it looked like you wanted to say something?
Well, you started the show with saying, you think about it, $90,000 last year. And that's
significant.
Most of those are very small contributions. We certainly would welcome, corporations and companies in the Hudson Valley to help us. But we really get the bulk of our donations from, friends and family, the neighbors of people, and they'll give 10, 15, whatever they can. It adds up. It helps. We always talk about how we're so divided, but yet when it comes to emergencies and helping people, no one asks anything about somebody. They just say, yeah, like you said, hey, I had a car problem, or yeah, I got laid off as well, or my kid needed this, and okay, what could we do to help? The stories that we share on our website that we tell is really a way for people to understand how we look to help people and the vastness. I think if COVID showed us anything, it's that people can very easily find themselves in a situation that was so unexpected.
Yes.
And it doesn't take COVID to put somebody in that spot. And if we all look, inside ourselves, we know that we've all been in that spot.
Amen to that. Literally, when you were saying the COVID era, everybody just chimes pointing and yes, exactly. Because that is, unfortunately, some shared trauma that we all have and we can all relate to. And it really opened our eyes to how easy everything can slip in a moment's notice. So when it comes to the donations then, It sounds like you have a lot of regular contributors. You have a lot of regular donations. Is there a way for people to like sign up to give monthly, annually, or if they only have enough for the one-time donation? How do people get involved with that? Whoever wants to take it.
Well, on our website, there's a link for donation. There's a mailing address if they were going to mail in the check or hit the link and sign up through the link to make a donation online.
Very cool. And would that be simply just a one-time donation, or would it be signing up to like do regularly, like a subscription?
I think you might be able to do a recurring.
Nice.
On an online. I'm not quite sure, to be honest.
It's all good, but hey, that's where you go. That's where you can check it out, and that's the best way of, stay in touch with all of that. Again, guys, this has been terrific. Again, you've been listening to In Touch, Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley's award-winning public affairs and issues program, speaking with members of the People for People Fund and the wonderful ways that they are assisting those in the community through the help of the community. And it really is a phenomenal business, and we're going to have all the links and information in the description for this episode so you can check out how to volunteer, how to donate, and all that. But as we wrap up, I want to hear from each and every one of you, whether it's just one sentence or a little blurb. What does being involved in this company mean to you personally? Whoever likes to start.
I've been here a long time now, 24 years, heading on my 25th year.
Congrats.
Thank you. I thought I was a bookkeeper in my prior life, and it was just a mundane job. And I heard about the fund, and they had sought an opening, and I applied because to me it was the perfect idea of truly helping another person and going to work every day to know that you have the ability to help somebody today. That's what I thought.
Beautiful.
And I'm very proud of what we do here and what our volunteers do.
As you should be. Honestly, beautiful.
I agree with Marsi. This is an organization that truly spotlight the goodness of the community, because it's a circle that goes around to say the community is willing to help. We are the bridge, and then we distribute those funds that become the assistance that someone needs at any particular moment. And I could tell you that knowing that every month, every day, there is an opportunity to help a hardworking person in our community that we serve, it's a wonderful, rewarding experience. And I have enjoyed the time to be part of the board for many years.
Incredible, honestly. Thank you so much for that. Tara, Barry, either one of you?
Yeah, I definitely am not fortunate enough just yet to have been part of People for People Fund for as long as both Nolly and Marsi have, but the time that I have spent with the People for People Fund has been eye-opening, to say the least, because you don't realize how generous your neighbors are until you're part of an organization like this, that people without thought are out there helping with, even if it's a small amount, it doesn't matter. Every little bit counts, and it's so great to be part of an organization where the volunteers are giving, the board members are giving, our executive director is second to none, and the donors are out there giving to help our community better itself, and that's just amazing.
Truly is amazing. And as you said, even though if it's just a little amount, those little amounts add up. 90,000 as of last year,
Sure.
Over 5 million. Overall, incredible. Honestly, I love it. And Barry, any last words?
Yeah, I've read some of the letters that people send and they ask, and you know it's hard for people to ask. You read these things, and they don't want to, but they've reached a point in their life where they have to. So imagine, someone is out there at their wit's end, and they're reaching out and they're asking for help. And as Tara said, some of the amounts that they're looking for is there isn't, this isn't 10,000, a couple of hundred or something, just to kind of, something to get them over the hump, and to know that you can give them that and you can make their life just a little bit better, a little bit easier, without a great impact on yourself. There's nothing more rewarding.
Amazing. Truly. Listening to all of this, it reminds me of one of my favorite movies of all time, and of course, holiday movie, It's a Wonderful Life. For those of y'all who remember the movie, when the bank, everything was closing and everybody goes to the loan house. And it's like, how much money do you really need? I need X amount of money. Oh, come on. What do you really need? And they managed to give everybody a little bit of something to get over that hump, to offset everything. And here the Baileys were able to perform miracles for everybody, and then in turn, everybody performed the miracle for them. You guys do this on a daily basis for 40 years. You are showing the Hudson Valley that it is a wonderful life by providing these miracles. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your perspective. Again, you can check out more information on the People for People Fund in the description of this episode. You can find that on our Townsquare radio station websites. Again, each and every one of you, thank you so much, and keep doing the beautiful, wonderful, amazing miracles that you do day in and day out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Conor. Appreciate your time.
Of course. This has been this week's edition of In Touch, the award-winning public affairs and issues program that runs across Townsquare Media, the Hudson Valley radio stations. We want to give a big thank you to everyone from People for People Fund. To learn more, visit peopleforpeoplefund.org. Of course, all links and information can be found in the description of this episode. Whether you've been listening for a while or you just joined us, thank you. You can find In Touch episodes new and old on your favorite streaming services like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and more. That and listen on demand with your Townsquare radio station mobile app. Of course, you can still find all articles and audio under the In Touch tab on this radio station's app and website. And don't forget, we're also on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at InTouch_HV. If you like what we do here on In Touch and want to be on the show, let us know. Whether you have a topic you want to discuss or you want to be a guest, you can fill out the In Touch submission form, which can be found in the description of this episode. I've been your host, Conor Walsh. Until next time, stay curious, keep an open mind, and as always, I'm glad we get to spend some time.